Hi, this is Carola with SDMETAL.com. I am here once again at the Conquerors of the World Tour here at the House of Blues in Los Angeles. I'm here with Christos today from Septicflesh, headlining the tour. How you doing, Christos?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good. Feeling nice basking in the LA sun this afternoon?
Yes, the weather is really great. It reminds me of our country, Greece, you know. It is a great place to be here, you know, in the House of Blues also.
How's the summertime like in Greece? I always kind of imagine you, I mean, I know you don't have time on this tour, but I always imagine you like comparing the beaches of California to the beaches of Greece. I would love to know what summertime is like in Greece.
I think we have better beaches, you know.
No, you probably do.
In Greece, because we have so many islands, hundreds of islands, you know, and we have a lot of beaches. But it can go in the summer really hot. It can go 43 degrees in Athens.
Oh,
and this
wow.
is not so pleasant to be, but it's a nice city if you can handle the hot in the summer, okay, because in general it has a very nice climate.
Okay. So is it humid out there? Is it like kind of the same like dry heat?
No, because I have been also to Florida.
Okay. Oh, the humidity is awful.
Yes, but I prefer here. The climate is much better. It reminds me of Athens, you know.
That's great, yeah. First of all, I think it's really awesome that essentially the majority of this band, aside from Photos, you guys have been together since the very beginning. What do you credit for this unity? It's a very long-standing unity.
Yes.
Since like the late 80s, right? 88, 89, 90?
We started the band in 1990.
1990.
And we kept the main lineup, as you mentioned, all the time, except with Fotis when he entered the band in 2002. I think this works really well because we have, you know, a good chemistry between each other, and this really makes us, you know, to focus always to create something unique in our albums, because we share the same influences, the same ideas, and I can say that Septicflesh is a teamwork, you know, and because the majority of the bands have only one or two composers, but for Septicflesh we are all composers, and as I said, this is due to our chemistry that is so many years. We are so many years together.
Right, and like you said, with the unity of composition, I mean, you and Seth have both talked about in your interviews how this one you feel is your best because you compose together as such a cohesive unit.
Yes. The composition process is always the same, you know, with Communion, with Great Mass, and now with Titan. But I will say, from my point of view, the best moments is when I have to record with the orchestra, you know.
Right.
This is really an amazing experience, an amazing feeling, and it's always for me a challenge to orchestrate and compose for an orchestra, which is one of the best in Europe. You know, Prague Philharmonic Orchestra is one of the best in Europe for film scores and video games.
Right. Wow.
I think, for my point of view, this is the best moment for me.
That's so awesome. Yeah, you mentioned working with that orchestra. What was it like working with so many? I mean, because you had to have over 100 members in this orchestra, right?
Yes.
What was that like? Did you go around? Did you have a lot of interaction with the members themselves, or was it more like you were all just kind of working as separate units trying to finish the album?
Well, you know, I have studied classical music, and I know how to orchestrate. And it's not about the number of people that are in the orchestra. It's about how to write for an orchestra. Right. And I try to give them as much as details as I can, because, you know, they are very professional, and we have a limited time there to record all the music. And if we start to make mistakes, this will cost us a fortune. Because, you know, we have to be perfect, and I give them a lot of details in the scores in order to perform it.
Right, absolutely. There is a lot of detail that goes into that. And something I'm interested in going into some of your earlier pieces, as I noticed, I mean, in recent years you guys have started a lot of reissues.
Yes.
But have you ever considered going back to those songs and perhaps rearranging them to your current style with the orchestra, or is there just too much new stuff to write that you wouldn't go back and...
It's not in our
rearrange.
plans. It's not in our plans to make something like that. I would say also that Septicflesh have two periods. The one period is from the formation of the band till the end of the band, split up in 2002. We were not in a strong label, we were not so active because I had to go and study classical music. My brother also had to study fine arts. I would say the main era of Septicflesh is the second period with communion to the great mass.
Absolutely.
Now, about the reissues, we are really pleased about that our fan base, our fans can listen our past, we can expand our fan base, etc. I don't know why Holy Records didn't reissue for so many years, but
right.
we are under Season of Mist, which we are really pleased that they made these reissues. It's very important for a band to have a back catalog.
Right, but so for you wouldn't go back and say rearrange a song on a Fidian wheel, taking the orchestral style that you have now, because I was thinking about how, for example, I guess Marduk sort of did that lately. I'm thinking more of Behemoth, how they redid Chant for Eschaton. It's kind of more to their modern style. They don't play it like they do on Satanica anymore. Would you ever consider taking a Mystic Places of Dawn song and revamping it with the entire orchestra?
No. This is the past. We're looking forward. We are looking always to expand our music vision.
Right.
We're using the orchestra now, and we are using it in our own way. Septicflesh use the orchestra in a distinctive, with a distinctive character. I would say it's not a good idea to go back and reissue some songs with an orchestra.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, now that you guys have really found that path, you'd rather try to create and compose new material with that newfound path rather than try to recycle something that started in the past. That's respectable.
Also, don't forget that in order to record with an orchestra, you need a big budget. Right. If the labels that have budget to reissue our old stuff with orchestra, why not? But I cannot see it happen.
Right, and that's admirable to me very much. Now, if you had the chance to compose a piece with a classical composer, living or dead, who would you write with and why?
To choose a work that I would like to compose.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about if you could collaborate with any type of classical composer, someone who's not in the metal, someone from.
Yeah, I know. For me, my main influence is Igor Stravinsky. When I was 17 years old, I heard his masterpiece, The Rite of Spring, which made me to say that I want to be a composer. Of course, we are nothing in front of Stravinsky. He was not a genius. He was an extraterrestrial for me, in terms of music. But if I had this chance, I would choose definitely Igor Stravinsky.
Absolutely. I actually see a lot of that style in there. That's a very hard-hitting piece. So with studying classical music, now this is kind of a thing that a lot of metalheads, some people go to school for music and some people don't. Some people just kind of go based off of intuition and trial and error and what works. So for you, what did studying in an education, what did it do for you? And what do you think, what are the benefits, what are the advantages of studying music as an education rather than just going through life?
You don't have to study music in order to compose metal. James Hetfield, as example, he hasn't studied music, but he had this talent to express his ideas with the music. But in order to orchestrate, you have to study.
Right.
You cannot be self-taught and start to orchestrate or to compose music for a concert music. Of course, in our case, we use this as a main weapon because we have a person in a band, in that case me, which knows how to write for an orchestra. And it's a big advantage because we don't have to hire an orchestrator, an arranger, and also, there is a gap between his ideas of an arranger of the band. We know as Septicflesh exactly what we need, what we want, and this is the biggest advantage. But again, if you want to write only metal, you don't have to study. But as I said, I learned to have discipline in music, to have many listenings,
Right.
to expand my ideas, to experiment. University helps you a lot of this, but
Absolutely.
after that you have to find your own way.
Do you think without that music education you would be in a different place as a musician? Would you be less interested in music? Do you think your direction would have changed if you hadn't have gotten an education in music?
I will not be the same, and also Septicflesh will not be the same, because as I said, this is our biggest weapon. We have a member that knows exactly how to compose and orchestrate for an orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fact, This is something that is really, how to say, I cannot see a future of Septicflesh without the orchestra.
Right.
Simple as that.
And that's, I agree. The way you guys have improved over the last 20 years is it's phenomenal.
We don't regret about our past. We made also works that have a distinctive color. We have our identity since Mystic Place of Dawn. But you cannot survive with writing music now as it was with Mystic Places. You have to experiment to go a further step, a step forward.
Right. And with that in mind, my last question for you is I would like to get your opinion on what you think of the death metal scene today, the extreme death metal, I guess as you would call it. What do you think about it today and whatever state that you think it's in, and where do you think it's headed?
Well, I don't follow a lot of the death metal scene nowadays, but I think this is a general impression that I have in art. Art has been saturated and there are not many good ideas that appear. Some people, they do extreme things just to impress.
Right.
I cannot see something that has that is pure, and I cannot see a band that can lead the way that Morbid Angel did, or Celtic Frost, or Death,
Right.
or Iron Maiden.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank you
here
very
today on SD Metal. We really appreciate it. Looking forward to the show.
Thank you.